It's loud. Hello. Welcome back to Slay the Gray Hobby Hangout. Today, I am painting some... This music is just way too loud in my headphones. Today, I'm painting some G-Sealer cults. Hello, my name is Sam. This is Big Nerds Wargaming. And this is the weekly live stream where I do some painting and just kind of show what I'm doing as I'm doing it and talk about it. And I've been on a little bit of a break because of the holidays of December. And yeah, just trying to get back in the swing of things. So I'm working on my Gene Stealer cult. A bunch of Acolyte hybrids. That's these guys. That's what they look like when they're done. But I got a Acolyte Icon Ward. It's a character that has a banner. You can join the unit. So I'm going to paint him up first. And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the unit. Probably won't get to the unit tonight, but I might be able to paint this guy tonight. We'll see. But yeah. So, let us begin. So first of all, I'm going to start with the white on his armor, because this will be the easiest to paint with my method. I don't have paper towel. I just have this one. I'll be right back. Alright, clean paper towel. It'll make painting so much easier. Alright, so the armor is like a white color, and painting white is easiest if you don't actually paint the color white. So we're going to go for a light gray here. And I think I'm going to go in with Celestia Gray. Just thinking here. Yeah, Celestia Gray. How I usually do white. I worked my way up to it. So we're going to do Celestia Gray and Ulthwan Gray on top of that. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and skip straight ahead to the Ulthwan Gray. Because the primer I did is pretty light. And I like to be making it darker, only to go lighter. So I think this will work out nicer. So I'm just going to get this paint nice and mixed up on my mixer here. And we can rock and roll. Alright. Let's see here. Just need a good sized brush. Good sized brush ought to do it. Get a little bit on there on my palette. And he doesn't have much armor. So we're going to get the shoulder pad. Actually, is that armor or is that skin? I think that's armor. Well, these guys, it's not armor. These Gene Stealer cult models are tricky sometimes because they are like in the middle of mutating. I think this right here is a piece of armor because there's got cloth underneath. And over here, it is his alien armor. Tricky, tricky. So let's get a closer look here at what I'm doing. Hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and New Year's. Some relaxing time off. All that good stuff. I was hoping to get another Grotnus battle report, but that didn't end up happening, so I just took some more time off from the YouTube. But there's some stuff I want to do this year yet. Some new stuff on the channel, some campaigns, battle reports, more terrain crafting. The last terrain crafting video did pretty well. Pretty well for me, at least. So, I'll probably do more of that kind of stuff in the future. Just trying to kind of figure out what's sticking. What is it that people want to see? What model is that? It looks cool. This is the Genestealer Cult Acolyte Icon Ward. He's a character that can join Acolyte hybrids or hybrid metamorphs, and he has a banner and boosts the unit. I forgot specifically what he does. I haven't played Genestealer Cults like at all this edition. I need to paint more models before I have a good army to field. So it's kind of been one of my project armies slowly chipping away at. Alright, so I'm going to need just a little bit more Oathwan Gray. Oof. Should have thinned that out a little bit more. I'm getting rusty. I haven't painted in a while. I think last time I painted was the last live stream, perhaps, when I painted Inquisitor Greyfax. Oh no, that's a lie. I think I painted some Genestealer Cult. But not on camera, at least. Alright. So now that we got the white painted, I'm going to let that dry. And we're going to go on to maybe the some reds on the cloak he's wearing, along with the banner. So I want a nice dark red with that, so I'm going to do corn red as a base. Mix this up a little bit more. Yeah, so this is what the the red kind of looks like. Let me stir this up here. So that's the look we're going for. So we're going to want some corn red. And then some Evil Sun Scarlet. Mixing with a little bit of Mephiston red. Get our red set up here. Some Mephiston red on our palette. I'll add some Evil Sun Scarlet. Nice, bright red. It'll be good for highlights. Alright, but I'm doing base coats right now, so I just gotta blacken some colors. So I'm gonna water down that corn red. And then just get all this garment he's wearing kind of blocked in. And the bigger the brush, the better. For this kind of step. More Gene Stealer cult. Yes, you are correct. How are the custodies coming along, Travis? I saw that one model you posted. It's looking pretty good. I have 6 guard, more or less done. I'm about to base them. Nice. Exciting. New armies are exciting. Yeah, so this guy's a Acolyte Icon Ward character. I guess he's like their ancient with the banner kind of character. So just trying to get these base coats blocked in here. I'm going to start layering and shading. Now these guys take a long time to paint because I'm kind of painting them to a higher finish quality than my normal stuff. So it's kind of a labor of love being a swarm army and everything. I have some sisters STLs I'll buy soon, and then I can print a rhino for them, and I'll have a few squads of sisters. Oh, nice. Oh, Sisters of Silence. I'm thinking of Sisters of Battle. Speaking of sisters and brothers, Station Forge on their tribe released today. I forgot what they're called, but they're essentially proxies for Adeptus Sororitas, except for their brothers of battle. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, the design is fine and all, but yeah, I don't think I would use that. I'm not very excited about that because I like the Sisters of Battle vibe and aesthetic already. And like the lore and everything, so we have some Space Marines at home vibes. Yeah. Absolutely. Alright, I'm gonna jump down in sizes on brushes here. And I'm gonna get this piece of fabric on a sleeve. These Gene Stealer cult models can be annoying sometimes because they all vary just a little bit with their getup. So it's easy to miss little details, and it can be kind of tedious with all the, little bits they have. Alright. Got the red painted. I'm going to go back to the armor now, and we're going to dirty that up. Is that a Magos or a random squad leader? It's a Acolyte Icon ward. It's a completely separate unit from a Magos. It's a character that can attach to Acolyte hybrids, these guys. Yeah, so he's just like a leader character. Gonna grab the old Seraphim Sepia and shade up this white. Get this nice and dirty and worn looking. So I like to do the white first because after I do this, I'm going to go over this with a dry brush. So the less I have to touch up, the better. So it's a good color to start with. And then I have the most annoying part done with first, and I can move on to the rest of the model. So we'll just let that dry. I should get the inside of this. There we go. Did I see the new Gene Stealer Pure Strain Anniversary model? I don't think I did. Is that news today? So I'll have to check that out. Alright, so we're going to let that wash dry, and we're going to work on this banner a little bit. He's eating a Termy body on the base. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This sounds awesome, though. Can't believe that one slipped my radar. So this banner, I want to look a little bit different than the fabric on the robes. So, oh, maybe I can make like a purple banner. Would that look okay? DM'd it. All right, let's take a look. See. Oh, yes. I think I did see that. Oh, it's a store anniversary model. Oh, when you said Termy, my brain went Termagant, which is not right. Alright, this banner, should I make it purple or red? I think purple might be kind of cool. I think I've decided. Purple, yeah. Yeah, I think we're in agreement there. And it'll give me an excuse to use this Leviathan purple contrast paint. Purple, purple, purple. My good shade brush out. So Travis, did you paint as much as you wanted to on your break over the holidays? And you had some kind of ambitious plans. So I'm just going to use this contrast as a base coat. I'm going to go back over this and do some layering on here and highlighting. But this color is just so vibrant and rich. I think it'll make a great base coat. It's very royal. So I'm debating about entering Golden Demon this year. I know I won't win anything, but you know, making a submission is the first step, right? These guard releases need to hurry along so we can get to Eldar. All in due time. All in due time. Alright, now I'm going to let this banner dry some while I move back to the guy. Give these brushes a nice deep clean. Alright, so for the back to the armor, I'm just going to take a junky brush like this. See, it's a hot mess here. I'm going to get some of that Elfland gray on the brush. And we're going to come in here with a dry brush. Lighten this up. Just moving in little circles. Going around the white. Especially on the shoulder pad, I want to lighten that up a bit. So kind of building back up from that wash. Actually need some more of that color. Ran out on my palette. Alright, we're gonna lighten that up again, and I just want the wash to kind of show in the recesses. So I want it to look dirty, but not too dirty. So I do this first because I do the dry brushing, and that can kind of make a mess on neighboring pieces. So I'm gonna get this white armor all painted up, and then I'll move on to like the other part of the body glove. All right. Holiday season was hectic, and I missed that entire Crusade phase. I'm hoping to start getting more games in again. Yeah, we had some games last night. It's a good time. I lost, I think. I got home and I honestly couldn't remember if I won my game or not. So it was like really close. But I think I did lose. I was teamed up with Little Sam. Alright, so now I'm going to take Agrax Earthshade, even darker. I'm going to do some very targeted shading on the armor with a finer point brush. Just a couple targeted areas, like along the lip here of the armor. Some targeted recess shading. There we go. And then the back of this pack here. Shade some of these components a little bit more. And then there's these vents on top. Get those a good dark brown shade. And then while that dries, I'm gonna go in with the size 0 Reaper miniature brush. Get that Ultraman gray back out again. And I'm gonna go over this almost like I'm doing highlights. Just gonna build that white up a little bit more, because it's looking a little dirty and I want to make it a little bit brighter. Kind of a little less random than the dry brush before. And this winter air is just doing murder to my wet palette. Lighten this up a little bit here. That's looking much better. Little Sam is fun to play with. Yeah, he gets really excited, high energy. All right. So next on the white is some highlighting, and I'll just do that with Pro Acryl Full Titanium White, the best white ever created for miniature painters. It's legendary. It'll change your life. You'll never be the same after painting with it. That's what all the YouTubers say. It's pretty good, though. This purple is awfully dark. I have to figure out how I'm gonna lighten that up a little bit. Gonna get some of that bold titanium white on my palette. There we go. Beautiful. And I'm gonna go with the smaller brush here. Let's see. I think this one I was using before would be a good highlighting brush. Gonna get it wet. Gonna get some white on there. And just do the old edge highlight with the side of the brush. Going for the edges of this carapace armor. Although I shouldn't call it carapace armor because that's actually a thing. This carapace-like armor. The mining gear. Get the edge on this pack here, these square edges. They're just screaming for an edge highlight. Ever since, it's been my go-to white. Yep. It is a good white. There we go. This is what we got so far. For that armor. It's looking pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to shade the red cloak. I'm going to shade that with Nuln Oil. Or Caribou Crimson. What did I do over here? I think I shaded this with Crimson, actually. We'll try Crimson, see how that looks. If it's not dark enough, I might go Nuln Oil. Because Nuln Oil also looks really good over, like, a dark red. And make sure the shade is nice and mixed up, though. Sometimes these shades, if you don't shake them enough, they come out glossy. We don't want that. Alright, let's grab my shade brush here. Load her up and go to town. I'm going to apply this shade pretty heavy because I want it to really darken up. Give me some nice shadows to work with when I start layering on highlights. Nice deep crimson red. Can't forget his sleeve here. Very careful not to get it on the armor, which we just spent so much time painting. Like that. And we'll let this dry. And let's go back to that purple banner. See what we can do with this. So it's very dark purple. So I gotta do something about that. The purple colors I have... I should probably get more, but I have Xerxes purple and Genestealer purple, along with like Warp Fiend gray and Slaanesh gray. So I'm going to get some, I think, Xerxes and Gene Stealer purple. Maybe a mixture of that and start layering that on. And we'll grab a brush for that. I don't want to use that one, it's too big. I'll go with the, yeah, maybe we'll go with the Army Painter Standard. Actually, this Xerxes purple is actually a lot lighter than I kind of thought it would be. So maybe I'll just start with that. I'm going to thin this out a lot. I'm going to do a little test piece back here. Oh yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to kind of very carefully start kind of layering this on. I'm going to get this kind of nice and thin here. I'm adding a lot of water to this, so it's pretty thin and transparent. It's also a base color. Base coats tend to have stronger pigment. So when you're thinning those out, sometimes you need to add a little bit more water than you think. But, I mean, just this little bit already is really taking away a lot of that contrasty paint look that you get. And I think the color is a little bit more controlled. That's what I want. More control. So it's very dark shades, this paint. And then this is kind of just lightening it up a bit while keeping that rich purple in the shadow. I really like that. Yeah, like over here in the front, it's kind of all over the place with the dark and the light. So we're just going to clean this up a bit. Some layers. This is a nice lavender purple. I like it. I tend to paint with like a muted color palette. I'm trying to decide if I want to try to go more vibrant. Especially on the piece I'm going to do for Golden Demon. Which sounds like I'm doing, because I'm talking like I'm doing it, so. I'm painting Rabutsi Gilliman to the best possible quality standard that I can muster. Which means I should probably get started on him soon. So maybe next week on stream, I'll start painting him. And then we can all embark on this journey together. So this is already looking a lot better, the purple. I'm gonna I'm going to grab some Gene Sealer Purple and mix that into the paint here. And go to a little bit more precise brush and start layering that in as well. Other details on the banner too, like a little cult icon and some I don't know what you call that, embroidery on the bottom, some decoration. I'm just gonna grab some Gene Sealer Purple and put that on 2 sections here. And I'm gonna mix some of that Xerxes Purple with that, about 50-50. So we get a nice in-between shade here. And then I'm gonna mix some water in with that. I'll continue layering here. So I'm going to kind of focus on these higher areas. This is pretty thin as well. It's almost like a glaze. Coming around to the back side of the banner here. Just going to start layering this on. Very thin. Glazing is a little tricky because it always looks a little messy when you first apply it, but then as it dries, that's where the magic happens. G-Man looks fun to paint and play. Yes, he does. I've been sitting on him for a while, just haven't had him painted or assembled. And I think maybe some Warp Fiend Gray for some highlights on the banner. Fill it up with Gene Sealer Purple. I don't use this color very often, so it's actually pretty gray. Maybe Slaanesh Gray would be better. It's a little bit lighter. A lot of these colors, they look so similar until you put them side by side. You really see the difference. So we'll get some Slaanesh Gray on here. And I'm actually going to mix some white into the Slaanesh Gray. Lighten it up a little bit. It's just very, very gray looking and drab. Oh, I like that. That'll be good for highlights. Alright, but I'm going to go back to pure Genestealer purple here for a sec. And start laying some chunky highlights. And some spots on this banner here. Just to really accentuate the highlights. And really add to that gradient of light to dark. Got these little holes on here, so I'm going to try to highlight those as well. Try to follow this sharpest crease here on the banner very carefully. Get these other holes here. Get this crease down the side. Yeah, I think that's looking all right. Give the back side of the banner the same treatment here. Get a little bit more water. Thin it out. Don't overload my brush. And try to get those ridges, sharp lines. All these little holes in the banner. It's pretty subtle. Alright, now I'm going to grab a finer brush. That lighter mixture I made of the Slaanesh Gray. I'm just going to do some targeted edge highlighting here. I think I may have went a little too far there. I gotta clean that up. Just blend it back a little bit with the Genestealer purple. Just came out a little tad too strong. I think I had too much on my brush. There. Just fade it back a little bit. And we'll come back in. Make sure my brush isn't too overloaded. Very carefully. Get a very thin line in the center of the previous highlights, but not fully going over all of it, so that way you get a nice gradient of light to dark. Just barely touching it with the edge of my brush. So you're going to want it nice and thin and not have the brush overloaded with paint. So you can get these controlled edge highlights. Takes a bit of practice, but once you start doing it, it unlocks a lot. And that's all I'm going to do. Just a little bit here and there. I don't want to overdo it. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's get the symbol on the banner. And I'm just going to do that in Ulthwan Gray, I think. So get a little bit of water on here. So this Ulthwan Gray has been drying. This dry palette. This dry winter air. Yeah, this is going to take a couple coats. But I'm going to very carefully go over this cult symbol on the banner. Until it is painted up. Howdy, Midwest War Games. Just stepping in to back seat for a little bit. All right. Welcome, Midwest War Games. Midwest is the place to be. Wow, this paint is just really chalky. I think it's just dry air. Drying out my wet palette too much. Winter, it's like the best time to paint because it's cold and you can't really do anything. But it's also the worst time to paint because the air is so cold and dry. You can't prime outside very easily. Kind of stuck with these conditions. I have a dropper and a clean water glass next to me. Keep adding more to my wet palette. Yeah, I got like one of these guys. I'll periodically rehydrate it. I need to clean my desk. I just knocked a bunch of stuff over. I got so much crap on my desk. And it helps. But yeah, it's a pain. Cult symbol's looking pretty good. Need some more coats on there. Need some more Ulthman Gray. Keeps drying out so fast. It's been cold, so the furnace has been doing its thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my basement where I have a dehumidifier and the furnace, and it's just not ideal. All right. Take another pass on this banner. And then we got this embroidery going down the side here. Kind of an interesting pattern. Break up that purple a little bit. Love it. Yeah, I do like the purple. It's a good color. All right, now that the banner is looking pretty good, I'm gonna come back to this guy, and we're gonna do some layering of reds. So I'm gonna grab some Mephiston red, a little bit of corn red, mix it together, and a lot of water. This red is very strong. And I'm just gonna start layering this in. Start building up the red on the fabric here, while trying to leave the dark stuff in the shade recesses. Keeping the visual interest of the fabric going here with the shades, while trying to lighten up some of the bigger patches. This is really thin, so I can have some control here So build up these layers. And also if I go over some of the spots here where it's really dark with the shade, it'll lighten it up a little bit. But not completely go over it, so you can still get that nice deep dark shadow. So thinner is sometimes better because you can just do another pass if you need some more intensity. And I'm going to take some Evil Sun Scarlet and Mephiston Red. Mix those two together. And a bit of water. Do the same thing all over again. Except for maybe not going over all the same spots as much. This time I'm only going to stick to like the more raised sections. And edges. Kind of like how we did with the purple banner. It's kind of progressively getting lighter here. It's a nice sharp crease here on the butt. Large sharp creases here. I'm almost coming in like a dry brush and just letting the high areas hit the brush. Going in really light here. That's looking pretty good. I've been neglecting his sleeve. Let me get that. Get these nice sharp folds on the sleeve. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to go in with some pure Evil Sun Scarlet. Do a little bit of highlighting here. Add some water, get it nice and thin. You're going to start with these very intense folds here. So it's very vibrant, very bright. So it's best for the most extreme highlights. So look at the kneecap here. Maybe like down here on the bottom of the robe. I've had these little holes on the robe, like the edge. Just kind of pick those out a little bit. Got this nice crease here, so I'm going to do try to get the center of these creases. Coming in very lightly, just kind of touching the edge of the brush. And then again on the back down here. There's these holes back here I want to try to get the edge of. Just kind of makes them pop a little bit more. I love painting red. Red robes, specifically. Can make them look really rich and vibrant. It's fun seeing it come together. Get the edges here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out so far. Just get a little bit here on his sleeve. There. Alright, let's see, the red robe is done. Ugh, my nose is running. This winter air, it's brutal. Robe looks great. Thank you. Yeah, I think I like that. Alright. He's got like a little tabard thing coming down in front. I'm going to make that purple to tie in with the purple banner. It's like underneath everything here. Just add a little purple splash of color. And then we'll go on to the, I guess this other part of his armor he's wearing. That's just going to be Mephiston Gray. I mean, Mephiston Gray. Mechanica Standard Gray. Oh my gosh. Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year, David. Painting a Gene Sealer Cult Acolyte Icon Ward. Yeah, I hope everyone had a great New Year and great Christmas. Oh, I like the banner. Thank you. Yeah, it's I was gonna go red, but I decided to do purple to kind of break it up a little bit. Really help him stand out as a character model. Because I know he looks very similar to the standard bearer of the Acolyte hybrids. But, you know, this one's actually a character, so I think the purple banner will help him stand out. Alright, so Mechanica Standard Gray. It's our next color. I'm just going to get this underpiece of the mining suit that he's wearing. It does provide a nice contrast for Santa Claus. Is the red and white a little too much for you? Too Christmassy? These models just take so long to paint. I did a unit of 10 neophyte hybrids. I think it took me 4 hours alone just to do their heads and their faces. It took so long. I have 40 more to go. A bunch of other stuff. This is definitely my slowest army yet. Maybe right up there with Space Marines too. Those guys take me a long time to paint. It's just what popped in my head when I saw this family member. We are all cousins in the cult. Alright. Just trying to decipher what I'm seeing on his belt here. Looks like dynamite. A pistol holster, a little icon, and a little vial. Alright, next I'm gonna do the Gene Stealer cult, or the Gene Stealer skin. And I think that is, yes, Cantor Blue. Cantor Blue. It's a very dark blue. Mix some water in that. And we'll get the Cantor Blue base coat down. This brush is just not wanting to keep a tip for me. Love it when that happens. It is a little on the more used side, though. Change it out. So that one's just okay, but this one should be better. Yeah, I think this is a newer one. Less miles on it. Oh yeah, much better. Hey, careful not to get the spot that I've already painted, like that nice white armor. The hands are going to be more purple or plum colored. Not this blue you see. I thought about making these more closer to my Tyranid scheme, but I really just wanted to paint something different than those same colors. Because I have so many Tyranids. I like the classic Gene Steeler blue from like Space Hulk. Alright, so the next on the skin is going to be a wash of Nuln Oil. I'm also going to wash the gray armor piece here with Nuln Oil. Just get this a little bit more darker here. It's kind of a thin layer. My dumbass wanted to paint Space Wolves closer to match my Iron Hand scheme, and now painting my Custodes with mostly wolf light gray. Yeah, your Custodes definitely do have more of a space wolf color palette. Oil. Suppose I got this little old used one here. It's almost gone. We'll use it up, maybe. Shade brush. The feet. The feet are also not this color. We're good. Had to remember how I paint the feet. So when I get all this Mechanicus standard gray and non-oiled, along with the bug skin. Now this blue, I'll put it on pretty thick because it's a dark color to begin with, and it really adds some nice shade pockets. Alright, let that Nuln Oil dry. While that is drying, I suppose I can move on to the hands, but there's some Nuln Oil on the edge that's drying, so I don't want to disrupt that. So maybe it's time to start doing some metallics. Or I could finish up the banner. Maybe I'll finish up the banner. So for the banner, I'm gonna do something with this, these guys here. I'm gonna do, Incubi Darkness, and then some Thunderhawk Blue. Do the Packers have enough to beat the Eagles this weekend? Ooh. I can be honest with you, I haven't been watching football. But I am always a Packers fan. So I'm going to say yes, of course. I think they're doing pretty good this season, too. Well, they did lose their last game. I know that much. But I think they're... Is this a playoff game? Is this the first playoff game, or is it still a regular season? That's how out of touch I am. Playoff game. Okay. If they play well, they can. Yeah. How exciting. I love Incubi Darkness. It's such a good color. I'll be rooting for my hometown Bills. There you go. Well, I guess that's your opinion, man. All right. The pole itself. I guess we'll do that with Lead Belcher. Lead Belcher wrapped in brown leather. I have spoken. Alright, Lead Belcher. Inked by Darkness is a great color. It's one of the best colors, I think. That and Thunderhawk Blue. Thunderhawk Blue working with its mate, the Fang. Alright, Lead Belcher. I'm going to do Lead Belcher on the shaft of this pole. As well as all the chains. I need a more precise brush for this, so I don't want to screw up my banner. All these chains. Man, they got so many, like, little details everywhere on these models. It's so much to paint. These chains and medallions everywhere. I like the silver with the purple. It's a good combo. This is bothering me. I need to fix this. There. It's better. Alright, so we got the chains, the pole. Let's come back over here on this guy. Look at some... He's got some chains. Some clips and such. Oh, we also got this gun. Do the gun casing in black. But these elements will be metal colored. The handle can be brown too. Alright, and then we got all these little rings off these leather straps. part of the pole. I'm gonna paint that metal. Paint this piece lead belcher as well. The bottom I'll do in a brass color. Just so that we can get that two-tone metal going. And then we got this shoulder lamp. It's gonna be lead belcher. Slowly but surely, it's starting to look like a model. Alright, so next I'm going to grab some leather and paint some of these leather details before I go back and finish all the accessories. So we're going to do Mornfang Brown for leather. Simple recipe, Mornfang, Agrax Earthshade, Scrag Brown Highlight. Easy peasy. Mornfang out. I'm going to quickly paint the dynamite red. This is Mephiston red dynamite. It's a Gene Stealer cult staple. Always carry your dynamite. You never know when you need to blow something up. Or yourself. Anything for the cause. Anything for the four-armed emperor. Scrag Brown is another good color. Yeah. Underrated color. Get this holster here. So all these little straps on the armor. Mornfang. Got this other stick of dynamite in the front. Little leather strap. Okay. I think that is all the leather. Yeah. Needs a second coat. I'm gonna also do the wrapping on the staff, and I'm gonna do that in Rakarth Flesh. Light fabric wrapped around the pole. I like Rakarth Flesh, however, it becomes unstable really quickly. It separates. Which is kind of annoying. But it's got good coverage. And it's pretty thin, which I like. Anybody see that Army Painter is coming out with a John Blanche color palette set? I think that's pretty cool. However, I paint in more colors than just red and black. And, you know, ochre. But I think it's a neat idea. Might be fun for like a little challenge, you know. Only paint with these colors. What can you do? I mean, John Blanche's artwork is some of my favorite. As far as Warhammer art goes. I think my favorite is the Battlefleet Gothic cover art for the starter set. So cool. Alright, coming back to here, we got some wrapped pole. I'm also going to get these wrappings around these claw things. Just so it all looks a little bit more cohesive. Alright. This is the part where I just start jumping around and going all over the place. But we do have to touch up on the... Let's go back to the flesh of this monster here. We're gonna do Gene Stealer purple mixed with Slaanesh gray. We do the hands. And I also need to start building up on the blue here. We'll get this color here blocked in. Very classic looking, very aliens. So this is a 50-50 mixture of Slaanesh gray with Gene Stealer purple. So it's a little toned down, that Gene Stealer purple, which is a very bright color. That's supposed to be purple, that's supposed to be blue. Just touch that up. Okay. Just gotta touch up the shoulder a little bit. There we go. Okay. Let's get the front of these hands. Oh, I completely bumped and made a big mistake under the hand there. Luckily, a lot of that is actually a piece of fabric wrapped around his wrist, which I need to paint still, so I think we're okay. My hand slipped and it just made a mistake. Ugh. It's always fun. Alright, next, let me just get that fabric around his wrist real quick. It's just going to be red. we go. Alright, so next I'm going to go back to the blue on those arms, and we're going to build that up with a little bit of highlights. I'm trying to think of what I did here. It looks like Altdorf Guard blue, maybe, mixed with some Fenrisian gray. I should really write down these recipes. So I'm going to take the Altdorf Guard blue and start that kind of chunky highlight. Do a little bit of layering. Just a little bit, not too much. So I really like that dark blue-black look of the skin. But it just needs a little something to make it pop. Altdorf Guard blue is pretty transparent too, so it's great for layering. Alright, now I gotta go in with actually I think I go in with rust gray for a highlight. This is going to be really minor, just kind of on the edges here. Just a little bit of a pop. Oh, I just remembered. Is not this week. Is it this weekend that the Adepticon registration opens up the 12th? I have to remember to do that. I'm going to be doing the Long Wars doubles again this year. Looking forward to it. There. Alright, so we got the arms done. Gonna do some shading on the hands with Druchii Violet or Druchii Violet. Oh, I also missed his feet down here. I gotta get those. tell you, these Gene Stealer cult, such a schlog. So much to paint. So I'm gonna go Druky Violet all over the lighter purple on the hands, your feet. Also get these little arm vents. The Tricky Violet. Alright, looking good. And I'm gonna bust out the Agrax Earthshade for the leather bits that I painted earlier. Along with the staff, the shaft of the banner. Just gonna get a nice Agrax Earthshade wash here. Just something real simple. Just a little bit on this banner pole. And these wrappings over here. Oh, okay. Making some good progress here. Not bad, not bad. Still got the head to do. All the other little details. It's just a lot. Oh. Alright, I think I'm just gonna do the brass next. And we'll see how I'm feeling, if I want to continue or not. It's been a long day. But I did want to get some painting in tonight, so I'm gonna do some brass, and we'll see what I'm feeling like after that. Then maybe we'll call it an evening. Maybe I'll continue. It's like the last 10% takes 90% of the time. Alright, so I'm using Brass Scorpion for the other metallic. Now it's starting to really come together. Little by little. I'm regretting not priming these bases white while I have my white primer and my airbrush. Ooh, yeah. That sounds like a mistake. Yeah, once I got an airbrush, priming in the wintertime. Oh, it's wonderful. It's no longer constrained by the weather for painting. It's wonderful. Although I still prefer to use a rattle can if possible. But you can get a really perfect prime finish with an airbrush, which is also pretty nice. I want to get a new one. I have an old Water Eclipse from 2010. You know, I wanted a new one too, and I got a new one. It's a little bit nicer than like the one I have, but I don't know if the needle is just like bad or, but it gets clogged up a lot. Where it sprays out, and I often have to I keep a brush next to me, and I'm constantly cleaning it out with the brush, which is too bad. I should try a different needle. Maybe the needle's a little bent and it's just causing too much spray at the tip, and it's just building up. Yeah, I actually use my cheap one that came with my air compressor a lot, because I mainly use my airbrush for like priming and maybe like a zenithal. I don't do a whole lot of proper airbrushing. That's probably my problem. I should get a bigger needle for priming. Oh, yeah. And then once I get that figured out, if I can get my newer airbrush, which is supposed to be nicer, working for me, then I can keep a bigger needle on my one airbrush and then smaller needle on the other. Undersides of this cult icon. Now, if I'm painting Gilman for a Golden Demon, would I get laughed out of the room if I painted metallic gold? Instead of non-metallic metal? Do people even paint metallic colors for Golden Demon? Or is it always non-metallic metal? I'm trying to remember if I saw any last year with metallics. Brass down here. Okay. It's coming along. It's coming along. I'm going to do the Thunderhawk blue on this banner. It's just going to be a little bit of a dry brush action going on. Just a little bit of dry brush up here. Lighten that up. And then I'm going to come in with some rust gray. For another pass. we go. Rust Gray over the Thunderhawk Blue over the Incubi Darkness for this this claw on the banner. I like that. Nice and easy. Oh, okay. It's close, but there's still probably another hour or so of work. So, and I'm getting tired. My back hurts. It's been a long day. Been painting. Been working. All that good stuff. So I think we're gonna call it an evening for tonight. Thanks for joining me and hanging out as I'm painting this Gene Stealer Cult Acolyte Icon Ward. I may pick this up next week. Actually, I'll probably have this guy done by the next time I stream. Maybe I'll be working on maybe Gilliman for my Adepticon Golden Demon entry. If I want to go through with that, I'm still debating because there's other stuff I want to paint too, and I know it's going to take a lot of time. But I don't know. I'm just rambling now at this point. So, y'all have a wonderful evening and a good tomorrow and the awesome rest of the week. And may all your wildest dreams come true. Bye.